Hi there. Seeing on the screen the DC motor and the servo motor. So both we are comparing today. So that is DC motor versus servo motor. So it sounds fun, right? Yes, it is fun to learn about both the motors because we know all the things about DC motor and the servo motor. So now we will compare both and let's see how it works. So now just keep in mind that we are not, making any kind of race between them. It is just and a comparison between them, like where we are using DC motors and where we are using servo motors. So let's start with DC motor. So first, this is a DC motor that we all know, where when we give an electricity, it starts spinning round and round. It doesn't stop by itself, and we need to stop that by clicking on or off switch. So just think of a fan. Once on, it keeps spinning till you turn it off. So DC motors are used in toy cars, fans, mixers, and wheels. So moving forward to servo motors. What can servo motors do? Now this is a servo motor. This motor is smart compared to DC motor. So servo motor is smarter. It can move to a fixed position like 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and etc. So think of it like your hand. You can stop your hand exactly where you want it to start. So the servo motors are used in robot arms, remote controlled cars, and robots. So this is what makes the difference between servo motor and DC motor. So how they both will look like when we open it. So when we open, it looks something like this. So this part here in the left hand side, we have DC motor, we have servo motor. So, the DC motor is easier to understand and it is easily made as compared to servo motors. In servo motors, we are using gears and the electric motor, but here in the DC motor, we are using only coils and the magnet and the shaft. So in the both the things, the common thing is in both DC motor and servo motor, the common thing is electricity and the shaft. So both does the rotating job itself, but it will be keep on rotating in one direction, and this will uh, this you can stop wherever you want. You can use it like a hand and you can use the DC motor like fan. So when in DC motor we have coils which will make it spin in one direction. So the stator magnets here, in the last videos we learned that stator magnets, one magnet will be pulling the coil and one more the other magnet will be pushing it so that it will be rotating in one direction. And the bushes will be passing the electricity for the DC motors, and the commutator is the one which will, pass the electricity in one direction. And the shaft is where we connect the things, and it is in between so that it will rotate in one direction. So, in coming back to servo motors, in servo motors, we have an electric motor fixed to this motor. So, in electric motor, the electricity is passed and now it is transferred to the gearbox. So in here, the warm gear will be rotating one in one direction, and the all other gears will be rotating it. And the gear joint is where the shaft and all the gears will be joined together in tight way. So here there is a output shaft. You can fix anything here, and the crossed horn here is where we attach some kind of cameras or any robotic hands or anything like that in the crossed horn. So the difference between them is simple. So here, the DC motor only spins, and the servo motor moves and stops exactly. So what to remember? So in easy way, you can remember that DC motor will use the coils, rotors, magnets, bushes, and the servo motor uses electric motor and the gears and crossed horn and shaft. So common thing in between, in both the thing is shafts. So this is what makes the difference in DC motor and the servo motor. When we see it from outside, so it looks something like this. So DC motor is attached directly to the LN L298N or any motor driver which you are using, and the servo motor is attached directly to the microcontrollers. So you can use Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or any microcontroller which you are using. The servo motor will be directly connected to that. But the DC motor is either directly connected to the battery or the motor driver. So, just a simple summary of these two is DC motor will only spin the parts, so like wheels, fans, etc. And the servo motor, it has a position control, so you can stop and move exactly wherever you want. So that is what makes the DC motor and servo motor different from each other. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, future robot builders.